The official party for today's ceremony consists of Honorable Jose Pepe Diaz, Commissioner District 12, Miami-Dade County, the Honorable Ashton Carter, Deputy Secretary of Defense, and the presiding official, General John Kelly, United States Marine Corps, Commander, United States Southern Command. Please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the posting of colors, singing of our national anthem by Lieutenant Colonel Jason Gibson, United States Air Force, and invocation delivered by Chaplain Ronnie King, United States Navy.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Pray. Lord, today is a great day. It's a great day because we're gathered here as friends, colleagues, and neighbors to celebrate a legacy. It is a legacy that has been written about, admired, and strengthened for the past 50 years, and today we pause to give you thanks. From our humble beginnings in Panama to our proud home here in Doral, you have always watched over the United States Southern Command as we built partnerships, forged relationships, and cared for the needs of those that were affected by instability and disasters. So we pause today, Lord, to say thank you. And as we do so, let us never forget that you have blessed us to be a blessing to others, that you have allowed us to be powerful, so that we can defend the weak, that you have given us wealth and prosperity so that we can show kindness and generosity toward others. Let our legacy always be, when I was hungry, you fed me. When I was in trouble, you helped me. When I was in need, you gave me assistance. Because when we do these things for others, we are honoring you, our God and our Creator. Lord, bless this day, bless this event, and God always bless the United States Southern Command and the United States of America. Amen.
Welcome to today's event. We are here today to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the redesignation of the United States Southern Command, known prior to June 11, 1963 as the Caribbean Command. Throughout the command's rich history in Panama and in Doral, Florida since 1997, the United States Southern Command has formed lasting partnerships in the hemisphere and with the local communities. Today marks a historic moment in the storied past of this combatant command as we symbolically demonstrate a new chapter in our partnership for the Americas and continued support to our nation. To help commemorate this milestone, an anniversary plaque will be hung in the Conference Center of the Americas. The plaque is currently on display in the foyer, and I invite you to view it as you exit the ceremony today. It is my privilege to welcome our distinguished guests that are with us here today. The Honorable Luigi Buria, Mayor of the City of Doral. The Honorable Kent Hippolyte, Consul General of St. Lucia and Dean of the Consular Corps. Lieutenant General retired Gary Spear, United States Army, former commander of the United States Southern Command from October 2001 through August 2002, and his wife, Kathy. Mr. Juan Carlos J.C. Bermudez, former mayor of the City of Doral. Mr. Don Selesnik, former mayor of Coral Gables and chairman, Military Affairs Committee, Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce. Ms. Aline Cruz Higgins, representing Senator Marco Rubio's office. Mrs. Zella Reynolds, representing Congressman Mario Diaz-Ballart's office. Ms. Harriet Carter, representing Congresswoman Elena Ross-Lathman's office. Also with us today, former Ambassador of Germany, Dr. Volker R. Ending. From the City of Doral, Vice Mayor Bettina Rodriguez Aguilera. Councilwoman Sandra Ruiz. And Chief of Police, Richard Blom. From the Miami International Airport, the Director of Protocol, Mr. Irving Forkand. Thank you. We'd also like to extend a warm welcome to our community leaders, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, generals, flag officers, members of the Senior Executive Service, and our senior enlisted leaders. The United States Southern Command roots date back to more than 100 years to 1903 when the United States Marines arrived in Panama to protect the Panamanian Railroad. However, U.S. Southern Command's history as a unified military headquarters officially began during World War II when U.S. planners established the U.S. Caribbean Defense Command. In 1963, United States authorities gave the command its current name, United States Southern Command. Headquartered in the Republic of Panama for more than 3 decades, the command played a key role in upholding the rule of law and promoting peace, development, and stability throughout Central and South America and the Caribbean. Compliance with the Panama Canal treaties prompted the Department of Defense to move the headquarters to Miami in 1997. Today, from its Florida headquarters, Southern Command is one of 6 geographical combatant commands. Together, these commands defend the United States' interests and conduct military operations across the globe. I now ask that we dim the lights for a special historical video presentation prepared by our Public Affairs Office. Ladies and gentlemen, our commander, General Kelly.
Well, welcome everyone, and happy birthday to this Southcom team. Commissioner Diaz, Dr. Carter, my very, very, very good friend and a public servant for many, many years. No greater public servant in my mind, in or out of uniform, and you grace us with your presence, all of you do. Mayor Boria, members of the Consular Corps, community leaders, men and women of Southcom, welcome. And thank you today for joining us and helping us celebrate. I certainly like to recognize Colonel Mike Lewis, Ms. Sarah Wolf, Christine Calabresi, and our outstanding protocol staff for all their hard work in preparing today's events. I also want to give special thanks to our Deputy Secretary of Defense again for being here. Ash, I should say, Mr. Secretary, your presence is a testament to the continued importance of U.S. Southern Command to our national security, and we're honored to have you here. U.S. Southern Command's origins lie in President John Kennedy's vision for the Americas, a vision that has been our guiding principle throughout the decades. President Kennedy envisioned a Western Hemisphere of independent and free nations sharing common tradition, goals, living in peace and mutual respect. He envisioned a Western Hemisphere that would serve as a beacon to the rest of the world, a beacon of freedom, opportunity, and equality. More than 50 years later, President Kennedy's vision has all but come true. We live in a hemisphere of progress, a hemisphere of peace and prosperity, a hemisphere of enormous promise and potential, a hemisphere of strong and enduring partnerships. U.S. Southern Command has played an important part in making all that a reality. Although our name, mission, structure, and even location have changed quite a bit over the last 50 years, one thing has remained constant: our focus on building partnerships both at home and abroad. Someone's fired. We began as U.S. Caribbean Command with a maritime mission and single objective: to defend the Panama Canal. During the 60s, our mission expanded to support regional development and the spread of democracy. During the 1980s, we refocused our mission on the conflicts in Central America, and after the Cold War ended, we transformed yet again into the command we are today, an organization that works with our partners across the U.S. government and the region to address transnational security issues like illicit trafficking, organized crime, and terrorism. In looking at our history, ladies and gentlemen, it's clear we're not the combatant command we once were. We are no longer a major front in a decades-long Cold War, and we're all thankful for that. And Latin America is not the region it once was. It is no longer a source of bloody civil war and brutal dictatorships. As the region has changed, so have we here at Southcom. We have both evolved into something better, and we've done that together. On a personal note, I consider myself extremely blessed to be working in this part of the world, a part of the world that stands in stark contrast to places like Iraq or Afghanistan. Instead of combat operations against a savage and elusive enemy, we here at Southcom get to engage with partners that want to make a positive difference in their own country and abroad, that want to contribute to improving regional security, that want to partner with the United States. That's a pretty amazing mission when you think of it, and Southcom should be proud of the work it has accomplished, proud of the changes it has helped bring about, and excited by the work still to be done. Thanks to the past dedication of this command and everyone who has ever served in it, we've helped Colombia bring itself back from the brink and helped Haiti recover from another catastrophe. Thanks to the command's current efforts, we're strengthening existing partnerships across Central America, South America, and the Caribbean. Closer to home, we've deepened our relationships with other U.S. government agencies, the private sector, and our local and precious South Florida community. These partnerships are the core of everything Southcom has done throughout our history and everything we do today. They have defined our past and will guide our future. And in closing, I'd like to share one last thought on the importance of these partnerships. Given the changing geopolitical landscapes and fiscal constraints facing the U.S. government, these partnerships are even more essential to U.S. national security than ever before, for a few very simple and very important reasons. At Southcom, we don't partner because it makes for a nice bumper sticker. On the contrary, or we don't partner because it's a polite way to relinquish our global leadership. We partner because we've learned that trust, confidence, and mutual understanding can't be surged when a crisis hits. We partner because we've learned that the nature of today's security threats can't be countered by a single nation or a single federal agency. At Southcom, we partner because we know that the only way we can secure a better future for us is by securing a better future for everyone. Finally, we partner because we've come to recognize a universal truth. Whether you're a businessman or a Marine, the fundamentals of success are the same. Success is a cooperative effort. It depends upon those who stand beside you. And despite what comes, despite the challenges of sequestration, despite the great budgetary unknowns, U.S. Southern Command will continue to stand beside its partners in Latin America and the Caribbean as together we strive to become that better future. Thank you so very much, and again, to everyone that's ever served as Southern Command and is serving today, happy birthday. And now, as we always do, we've brought in a ringer. I'd like to introduce, and it's my honor to introduce, as guest speakers, Commissioner Jose Pepe Diaz, who will be followed by Deputy Secretary of Defense Ash Carter. Pepe, Mr. Secretary, I'm delighted both of you were able to join us today. And Pepe, the floor is yours.
You know, I have to say this, before I begin, let me just say that I never, ever, in my wildest dreams, did I ever think that I was going to speak following a four-star general and precede the Deputy Secretary of Defense at an event. Only in America. Only in America. And John, we got to make some of these a little lower for guys like me. But anyways, good morning to all distinguished guests, members of Congress and elected officials, former Southcom commanders, community leaders, members of the Consular Corps, general and flag officers, member of the Senior Executive Service, all military personnel, family, and friends. I am immensely grateful for the invitation to speak during such a significant celebration. It is truly a humbling honor. The past century has been a time of turmoil and triumph, a time of grief and glee. We have seen amazing advancements in science and in technology, but also great setbacks and threats to the very core of our world civilization. The past half century evokes a myriad of emotions, but today we stand here to commemorate the first half century of an establishment that has been an essential partner in forging world history and an essential partner to Miami-Dade County, the United States Southern Command. When I think of Southcom, as we commonly call the Unified Military Headquarters, I think of a symbol of a strong tower. Nowadays, a tower might not bear much meaning, but in the past, one would need to build a tower in order to see in the far distance, and that would only be necessary if one had something to defend. In several languages, the root of the word tower means to grow up, become great or important, to make powerful. But what strikes me the most is the emphasis on joining forces, or the element of construction. What has been constructed during Southcom's half century has been done through the joining of forces. of hearts and of purpose. A strong tower which currently covers 30 countries, 11 territories, 26 SAOs, and approximately 410 million people who resides in its shadow of protection. My personal relationship with Southcom started back at the beginning of my political career, when there, Mayor Sleznick worked diligently among many of us to bring Southcom to its rightful place, Miami-Dade County, in the city of Doral, Mr. Mayor. I won't keep that out. Because of the Bragg process, we were faced with 3 challenges in order to keep command in Miami-Dade County. Little did I know that I would find myself going to Washington, Tallahassee, or even to the man on the street corner in order to say what we needed to say. I remember sitting in the office of my dear friend, Jeb Bush, trying to come up with ideas to overcome the first obstacle, the land. Then finding out that the state trust had enough land right next door that we could build on. Little things. Obstacle number 2 wasn't as easy. It almost got me to see the inside of the Capitol Brig in Washington. It's true. You could ask Mayor Mabutis if I'm lying. That simply was because I said, no way that the command was leaving this area to go to the panhandle of MacDill Air Force Base. Certainly, it was not easy, but we overcame. Third obstacle was the money. Yes, the money. I have to give a lot of credit to many people, but once again, then Governor Jeb Bush, who happened to have a brother that happened to be the President of the United States, had a little something to do with that. Yes, we got the money, and we prevailed. By accomplishing these 3 vital things, today we are here. Celebrating in this state-of-the-art facility. You might need a GPS to get around, but it's awesome. The accomplishment of joining forces, our strong tower, a key partner for our entire community, at the heart of the gateway of the Americas, but also at the heart of our land, our home, Miami-Dade County. This place and everyone that serves out of it means a lot to me. Truly dear to my heart. Not only because I'm a Marine, the military liaison for Miami-Dade County, and the chairman of the Military Affairs Board, but because I understand the reason why you do what you do. What boils your blood also boils mine. What brings you joy also brings me joy. I feel one with your cause. My job and my purpose is to continue to support you. 50 is a number easier said than carried out. 50 years of fulfilling missions and mandates is a long time. Time that has been honored with service, courage, and resolve by people like you sitting in front of me. Thank you for your service. Happy 50th anniversary, Southcom. Happy birthday. And once again, may the Lord bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, General Kelly, Commissioner Diaz. Ladies and gentlemen, Deputy Secretary of Defense, Dr. Ashton Carter.
Well, good morning, General Kelly, Commissioner Diaz, so many distinguished guests who have taken your time to be with us today to celebrate the 50th birthday of Southern Command. Great to be in this wonderful city. You're wonderful hosts and friends to us. We appreciate it. Thank you. Let me begin by thanking each and every one of you in the room here, whatever you do here at Southern Command, military or civilian, for your service to us and to the nation. We have the finest defense in the world because of you. It's the work you do, it's the sacrifices you make, it's the professionalism that you exhibit every day that keeps our nation safe, strong, secure. So thank you for answering our nation's call. We don't take it for granted. There are times when we have sequester and furlough and all that where I'm not sure we deserve it. But we don't take it for granted. And we in the department know why you do it. You do it because you love the mission. Because to quote the commissioner, what boils your blood boils our blood as well. Love that phrase. So thank you. And moreover, we all know that none of you could do these difficult and demanding jobs if you didn't have the support of your families. And so I'd ask each and every one of you to go home tonight and say to your spouse, to your parents, to your children, to your loved ones, whoever is close to you, that you were thanked on behalf of the department, on behalf of myself, Secretary Hagel, and all the leadership for what you do for us. I'd like to thank John Kelly for decades of selfless service to our country, his leadership in 4 combat deployments, for the outstanding job he's doing here at Southcom and has been doing for the last 7 months. You know, John is someone who truly embodies what it means to be a great leader in our military today. He's a soldier, also a scholar. He's been a platoon commander and a general on the battlefield. He's been the right-hand man to 2 great secretaries of defense, and I've witnessed that. And he's held every position in between. And you know, John is tough and John's demanding, but he's also compassionate and caring. And nowhere is this more evident than the love and devotion he has for his family. John and Karen have already sacrificed a great deal for this nation, as much as any family should ever be asked to sacrifice, and yet they continue to give, as does their son John, who's an active duty Marine officer. So John, thank you. Thanks for hosting me today, for your leadership over many years of service, and to all that you and Karen do for the nation, for this command. Now, we're gathered here today to celebrate the 50th anniversary of U.S. Southern Command. While that's an impressive number, it's important to note that a command covering this region has existed for actually much longer than that, dating back to when President Roosevelt stood up the Caribbean Defense Command in Panama in 1941, as we saw in the documentary. And though the command's names and responsibilities have changed over the years, one thing has remained constant, and that is the critical stabilizing role played by the U.S. military in this part of the world. Southcom's area of responsibilities are immense, covering more than 40 countries in an area that represents 1/6 of the world's landmass assigned to commands. It's a region from which millions of immigrants and Americans trace their roots, and a region whose importance to the U.S. economy and national security is only growing. The President's and the Vice President's recent trips to Central America underscore our commitment to being a strong and reliable partner to our allies in the Americas. And that's not going to change. And that's not going to change despite all that you see in Washington about gridlock and so forth. That's not going to change. And so it's fitting that Southcom's motto is partnership for the Americas. From my discussions with General Kelly and his team this morning, I've just amazed at the range of responsibilities and activities that you have in this command. Your commitment to working with partners, both in the region and throughout the U.S. government, military to the rest of our government, is helping build an integrated network of defense in the Western Hemisphere based on shared responsibility and shared values. And we recognize that, and our commitment is to you to help you carry out that commitment. Through initiatives such as Operation Martillo, you're bringing partners together to dismantle transnational criminal networks and to disrupt illicit drug trafficking, which has caused so much violence across Central America and everywhere. Through engagements with nations like Brazil, Colombia, Chile, and El Salvador, you're energizing collaboration on peacekeeping and multinational security operations throughout the world. And through Southcom's humanitarian and disaster relief assistance, such as your support to the Haiti earthquake relief in 2010, you're enhancing regional security and improving our allies' ability to respond in times of crisis. It's a lot to do and a lot of accomplishment. 50 years ago, when President Kennedy changed the name from U.S. Caribbean Command to U.S. Southern Command, few would have predicted the remarkable progress that this entire region has made. Today, though challenges remain, the Americas are more stable, more democratic, and more prosperous. And the people of Central America, Latin America, and the Caribbean are committed to many of the same values that we cherish in the United States: freedom, democracy, faith, respect for human rights, and the rule of law. And Southcom's engagement and investment in the region has been an important part of that kind of success, as well as the security success. So on behalf of the Secretary, the entire Department of Defense, thank you. Thanks for keeping the southern plank of the United States safe, and for Southcom's role in fostering peace, stability, and prosperity throughout the Western Hemisphere. We couldn't be prouder of your work, and we look forward to another 50 years of success. Thanks, and happy birthday.
Thank you, Dr. Carter. At this time, I'd like to ask General Kelly to join Dr. Carter center stage, please. It's now my honor to invite Mr. John S. Sampson, the longest-serving member of United States Southern Command staff, to join General Kelly and Dr. Carter. Mr. Sampson first joined the command in 1962 when it was transitioning from the Caribbean Command to what we now know today as the United States Southern Command. As such, he is receiving a certificate of appreciation in recognition of his more than 50 years of loyalty and dedication to the United States Southern Command, the Department of the Army, and the United States of America. Mr. Sampson, your legacy of hard work and excellent service will remain the standard for many years to come. To commemorate today's event, we are adapting a tradition reserved for military service birthdays. I'd like to ask Mr. Sampson, as the longest serving member, General Kelly, and Dr. Carter to now cut the anniversary cake. The longest serving member will sample the first piece of cake, which then will be served to the United States Southern Command family during the Workforce Appreciation event following today's ceremony. The passing of the cake from the longest serving member to the rest of the command symbolizes the passing of the history and traditions. It also signifies the manner in which senior staff coach and mentor the next generation of U.S. Southern Command leaders who in turn will one day follow suit. Thank you, Mr. Sampson, General Kelly, Dr. Carter. You may return to your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the service medleys, the retiring of the colors, and remain standing for the departure of the official party. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the ceremony. Thank you for attending. The United States Army Garrison would like to invite everyone to attend the 50th Anniversary Workforce Appreciation event taking place in the Fitness Center. Tours of the command will also be made available departing from the Fitness Center.